Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today is another chit chat. Get ready with me. So today is Saturday, February 24th, and I was trying to think about what I wanted to talk about today. And I think I'm just going to tell you more about myself. I guess we'll start with some updates. Not too much going on. I'm trying to do a 24-hour reading challenge. But I'm not doing the stay up for 24 hours. I'm doing the timer method because I just have too much going on and too many responsibilities. Maybe one day I would love to do one like that because I think that those ones are the most interesting, where people just kind of slowly go insane in the wee hours of the night. But I have roommates. I can't just be up and making noise and stuff. You know how it is if you live with roommates. I have to film my March TBR today. It is that time of the month. I really don't know how much time I'm gonna get to film this upcoming week, so I have some videos planned. Yeah, my weeks kind of go on and off with how busy they are, because one weekend my best friend will work and then the next weekend she won't, and then obviously I'm trying to spend time with her and we go and do fun things a lot of the time. So hello. So I guess I'll just start talking about me. So my name is Taylor. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. I am 26 years old and I currently live in Rapid City, South Dakota. So if you know anything about geography or South Dakota or anything, that's around where Mount Rushmore is. So very touristy area. I've only been living here a couple months, and I am not the biggest fan. I am excited and itching for wherever I end up next, but I ended up here because I was ready to move out of Sioux Falls. I had broken up with my partner, now ex-partner, and I was just I am ready to be done with this area. And my best friend was living out here and she had an extra bedroom, and so here I am. I went to college at South Dakota State University for agricultural communications with an emphasis in poultry and minors in intercultural workplace competence and music. I played the clarinet for 14 years. So bring on the Squidward comments if you so please. After I graduated college, I moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because that's where my best friend was living. Because as I was nearing graduation from college, I didn't have the job offer that I have of the job I have now. I got the job offer after I had signed a lease to live in Sioux Falls. And so I work remotely full-time. And I love it. I'm a marketing coordinator for a farm, and it is a good time. I love my job, and I love working in the agriculture industry. I will say there are things that I don't love. There is, we have a specific trade show season in the fall that I always attend. And while I like it, there is, some misogyny. People not taking me seriously because I am a woman, because of my age. I don't know. I tend to hold my own pretty well, but then it's also hard because some people also kind of make inappropriate comments to me. But after college, I really struggled with knowing what I wanted to do with my free time. So I was a student for 20 years. I'm originally from the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, and I graduated high school and I just went straight to college. So basically I was always chasing you know, the degree and the job. And so when you are told to like chase something for so long, when you have it, it's kind of like, what's next? And so for me, I really struggled those first couple months right after college. I was like, what am I gonna do with my free time? I've always had hobbies, but I also needed something to like kind of work towards. From that, my small business, Tady Creations, was born. I'm not exactly sure what prompted me to want to start doing like the bracelets and stuff. It just kind of seemed right at the time. I've been crocheting since I was 19 years old, so that's always been kind of a part of my life. And in college and stuff, I would crochet a bunch of scarves and just kind of keep them until I felt I had enough to go donate them to the homeless shelter or a project warm-up for children or something like that. But so I was so scared. I was so scared to start posting on social media to say like, oh, I have a small business, this is what I'm doing. I was so petrified to like look like a beginner. But I've wanted to start a small business since I was 19. Like I really wanted to do like a crochet small business, but I didn't know enough about the art form of crochet yet, or about like how much I could do, because I started out making like blankets, and then I pretty much only made like double crochet scarves for people in my lives, or I would make them blankets and stuff. So I just didn't, and then during college and stuff, I did not have like the mental capacity to learn how to make more crochet things. So really, I only crocheted blankets and scarves for, I'd say, around 4 years, until a friend was like, hey, you said you crochet, like why don't you do clothing? And I was like, I could do that, couldn't I? So then I started, and my small business really has pivoted from jewelry crochet stuff. With the rise of like the Eras Tour and stuff, I've really enjoyed making bracelets again, and I would like to start doing that again and maybe have them as like little freebies or different somethings in my Etsy shop. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, because I know that not everyone has the time or the want to sit down and make a bunch of friendship bracelets, but you still want to participate in those things at the concerts, or even just in general. Like I love just having like a stack of bracelets, and it kind of is something that portrays you as a person, because it's like, oh, these are the kinds of things that I like. For example, like I have a bracelet that just says White Claw on it because White Claws are my favorite seltzers. Unfortunately, they've really fallen out of public favor, because everything is like high noons and carbless and stuff now, and those are good, but there's just nothing like a regular White Claw to me. That's just my opinion, because I've been drinking them for so long. You know, you just kind of, you have what you like, you know? Yeah, in my free time, I mean, I've also always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I have always been like obsessed with just like watching people do things, I guess. I started watching YouTube when I was in high school, when things really started kind of blowing up, I guess. Kind of in the rise of the first wave beauty influencer. I was super into makeup. That was like my thing. Was I good at it? I wasn't really doing special effects makeup type stuff, and I don't think that has never really like interested me, but like really fun eyeshadows and really fun like lip colors always have. So I was like the girl in high school who would sometimes show up with like crazy eye looks, or maybe like an interesting lipstick or something. And that has just like not really ever changed about me, I guess. I really don't consume a lot of beauty content anymore. I have my favorite people who I've been watching for years. I love Kelly Gooch and Jessica Braun. Those are probably like two of my favorite people. I just think that they are just like so real to me. So like I still really enjoy like watching their videos from time to time. I also watched a ton of Jenna Marbles. I adored her. She was like an a quirky older sister that I never had because I'm the oldest of all my siblings. And I just adore Jenna Marbles. Like, to this day, I would still, like, rewatch old Jenna Marbles videos. I just hope that she's living her best life. I know that her husband still does streaming and stuff. And I'm just, like, I don't watch streams very often. Like, I know some people are really into, like, the co-working streams and stuff. And maybe that's something I should try because I have trouble focusing sometimes. But they're just not for me, and that's okay. I like seeing, like, their life updates and how they're, like, rescuing all the greyhounds and stuff. It's so cute. But I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but my parents were definitely not ones who would have let me start a YouTube channel so young, and I definitely thought that you needed to have a camera and a laptop and all this sort of stuff. And I also just, like, never had enough confidence in myself because I was always worried that people were going to make fun of me for, like, wanting to do these things, because this was before, like, kind of the rise of the influencer, I would say. Like, you had your big people on YouTube, and influencing was starting to become a bigger thing, but people still didn't really know, you know, what an influencer does, what is a sponsorship, PR, like, it was such a new kind of landscape, so to say. But when I started dating my now ex, I remember telling him, like, I want to start a YouTube channel, and he was like, do it, do it, do it, like, you have to, like, you'd be so good at it. And it was probably one of the only times that he was ever really, like, supportive of me. And it was nice to kind of have that extra, like, support, and having someone be like, yes, you'd be so good at that. And do I think I'm the best? No, but I really do have a good time doing this. I feel like I've gotten a lot more comfortable talking to the camera. I mean, it's been almost a year that I've been doing this. And granted, I feel like I haven't, it took me until moving out here when I became consistent. And now I feel like I have a better idea of, like, what I want to film, what people want to see, what interests people. And I'm still very much like, I want to post what I want to post. And one thing that does help is that I've been posting reels on Instagram for so long, so, like, YouTube shorts were just super easy for me to pick up. And so I feel like starting at this time kind of feels perfect. But I was so scared, and definitely I think you can see it in some of my older videos that I'm a little bit, like, meek and mild, and there's sometimes where I still feel meek and mild, I guess. Like, I get a little scared. And I guess talking to the camera and, like, being more vulnerable and talking about myself can kind of be hard because it's so easy to talk about, like, other things, talk about books, talk about crochet stuff, blah 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 blah. But, like, to sit and just talk about yourself, it's like, whoa. At least that's how I feel, because I was, like, thinking about it. I was like, do my viewers know me? I want you guys to be able to know who I am and, like, kind of what I stand for, I guess. Maybe you don't want to know me. Maybe you just like my content, but still have the choice to watch the video or not. But yeah, I really struggled graduating college on what I should do with my free time. I did work at an Ulta for a short bit of time, but they were, like, having management issues in the fact of they, like, needed a new shift lead, or what was it, like a head cashier or something. And they were like, Taylor, we want you to do it. And I was like, I can't commit to a full-time schedule. Like, I have a full-time, like, job that I went to college to get. I was like, I have a quote-unquote, like, big girl job, because I was only working there part-time. I was literally just, like, stocking shelves and sometimes being up at the counter. And they were like, well, this can be a big girl job. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have a business degree. Like, if I wanted to work in, like, Ulta HQ, sure, but I don't know, they also just, like, weren't very accommodating, because I was like, I, you know, have this full-time job. I wanted a part-time job so that I could have something to do with my time, because I am just a busybody. And I was like, but I would love to work every other weekend. And they told me that that was too hard. I don't know, it was just, like, a mess, and they wanted me to work five nights a week and every weekend. And I was just like, I cannot do this. And so I kind of ended up having, for lack of better words, kind of a breakdown. And I, like, sent them an email, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need time for me. I was starting to realize more of what I wanted to do with my free time. And I think that that's something that everyone kind of goes through, or maybe they don't, or maybe they suffer in silence more, but I wish we would talk more about like what it's like getting your first full-time job after college, because you work your 40 hours, but then you still do have quite a bit of time. Granted, I don't have a commute to and from work, so I know that that can eat up a bunch of people's personal free time. But that is why, like, I think hobbies are so important, like something that you can do in your free time for you. And just because I've chosen to like post myself on the internet, or, you know, start a small business and monetize my hobbies and stuff, doesn't mean that everybody has to. And I feel like we as a society also need to move away from trying to monetize everything that we do with our lives, because not everyone's meant to be an influencer. Not everyone wants to be an influencer, but they feel like they should, or that they have to, or you know what I mean. And I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. But I don't know, even I was talking with my aunt who is trying to retire, and she's very much like a busybody like me, and she's like, well, I just don't know what to do with all my free time. And I was like, well, I didn't know what to do with my free time, and it took me like about 3 months to figure it out. And I think one thing that's interesting too that maybe we don't talk about enough is that a lot of people do just choose to get married right out of college. And that's not a bad thing. Let me be so clear, that is not a bad thing. Oh my god, I need to stop touching it. Okay, but a lot of people choose to get married right out of college, and that's not a bad thing. That's just a fact. And like living where I do in the Midwest, the marriage culture very much is you find someone in either high school or college and you get married almost as soon as possible. And some people choose to start having children right away, and that is their life path and everything, but that wasn't me. I did have a boyfriend in college. Obviously, him and I did not work out, and honestly, for the best. And so it's kind of like, what do single people do with their time? And one thing that I've learned about being in South Dakota, and I feel like, not to like air out all of South Dakota's dirty secrets, but a lot of people turn to drinking, and it is like not in the moderation type of way is what I'm gonna say. And I think part of that stems from like a lack of third places. And so if you don't know what a third place is, a good example is kind of like a mall, where, you know, you probably will spend money, but there's no obligation to spend money when you go to a mall. You can literally just walk around, window shop, and have a good time. And another third place that I can think of is like a library. And we as a society don't really have those anymore. Like, yeah, you can go to a bar and not drink. Like, you can just drink water, but like, at what point would the bar consider you to be loitering? Then as, you know, we get older, dating is difficult. But it's difficult because I feel like everyone has a relationship that like really scarred them in some way. And then they kind of, instead of dealing with that trauma and baggage, they kind of put it on the next person. And that's men and women. Please do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm saying this as a single woman who has been dating for a long time, who's been on a lot of apps, who's seen a lot of stuff, who has friends that are dating, friends that are married, you know, all this stuff. Like, I don't say this to dog on people. I'm saying it as like, we as a society could be working better, or like trying to do stuff. And I say this, I've also been in and out of therapy, and I know that that is like a privilege to say that I've been able to do. I did it a lot in college, also a privilege to have been able to go to college. But so I've taken time off of dating the past 2 months now, and I feel so at peace, and I feel like my brain and my body are finally starting to deal with some of the trauma that I've been through with like past relationships and people and friendships, and just like in general, in ways that like even therapy couldn't really help me, I guess. Because I think it's hard when it comes to therapy, because unless, for me, if I didn't go in with a list and be like, these are the things that I want to talk about today, sometimes I would just end up talking, and it wouldn't really be anything helpful. And so not having anyone to talk to has forced me to really like sit with myself and be like, oh, that wasn't so cool, or wow, this is the makeup look. It's the same as it always is. But wow, okay, oh goodness, I hope that everything I've talked about today kind of comes across in the way that I'm wanting it to. I guess, what am I trying to say right now? That's the hardest part. What am I trying to say right now? Dating is hard, and we have trouble connecting in society because we live on the internet. And I feel like that's absolutely nothing new. I feel like I just blacked out for 20 minutes talking. So, yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a big like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!